Guys, Chris here from Carolette Miniature Horses. It's an early start to the day today. I have already fed everyone. They have their hay. Sweetheart has had her grain. Snuggles and Clover are in the barnyard so that we can keep Clover off the grass during the daytime hours as best as possible. It's about 9:15. I have already come in. I've had a little bite to eat for breakfast. And I'm going to run down the road and join a good friend. We're going to go for a little ride. I get to ride the babysitter. She has some young horses that she's bringing along. And so I get to ride a really, really quiet mare of hers just to kind of be a companion. So that's what I'm up to this morning. And we'll have to see where the day goes. But it's been a good morning so far. Hey guys, I am back at the farm now. I had a really great ride this morning. The weather today is just absolutely beautiful. I bet you it's close to 70 some degrees. I think the car said 77, if you can believe it. It's hard to know for sure, but it is really warm today. I have had to trade in my morning sweatshirt for an afternoon sun shirt. I've got my sunscreen on. So yeah, it's a really warm one here. Today I am going to hopefully grab both Shenanigans and Rockstar and kind of take them down into the ring and work them around the obstacles like I did with Sweetheart and Clover yesterday. And if I have time, I will do the same with Snuggles. I'm not exactly sure just how much time I'll have, but that is the hope for this afternoon. Again, it's really warm, so I'm going to curry these guys, hopefully get a lot more hair off, and then go see what they think of these obstacles. Clover and Snuggles are here in our little lots. Clover is on the left-hand side where there is considerably less to nibble on. Just a little teeny bit of grass, very little though. There's a little more on the right-hand side where Snuggles is. So they're going to be happy here while I work with Shenanigans and Rockstar. They don't seem to mind. Heading into the back here, let's see which of our little friends wants to come up and say hi first today. I kind of like to see who volunteers. Sometimes one of them will walk up to you. Here we have Rockstar. He's pretty happy. And then there's Shenanigans and Sweetheart. I worked with her yesterday, so I will probably just let her hang out here in the field a bit longer. But today I want to work with Shenanigans and Rockstar. So let me go grab one of our friends. We have Rockstar here first today. He seemed more than happy to come on in. I have my grooming supplies just over here in the bucket out of his reach so that I'm not in and out of our tack room here. Since I tie them here, I like to keep the door closed. It's less of a distraction. He's a good boy. We're gonna have a good time today, bud. They're still kind of figuring this out, you know, the way I tie them. We're all getting acquainted, but he generally stands pretty well. Good boy. Just giving him a few approaches to check it out. Just playing a little follow the leader right now. We'll see what he thinks of the hula hoop as I'm approaching it here. Yeah. Yeah, the grass isn't bad around that. What do you think, mister? Oh, what a good boy. Yeah, I mean, he moved it. He didn't care. What a good boy. What do you think, bud? What do you think? Good boy. What a good boy. Just checking things out. you know, playing a little follow the leader here with Rockstar. He's seen the cones before. He's walked over a little pole on the ground before. But some of these things are new. There he is. We're just meandering around the cones right now. There he is. There he is. What a good boy. I like how quiet he is. You know, he's not bothered by kicking something new, hearing a new sound. He's more interested in a little snack. Come on, buddy, walk on. Come on, buddy, walk on. Introductory leading is nice when they can just follow you. You know, we'll practice leading side by side later on. Walk on. We're just finishing up our little nibble of grass here. He's still thinking about wanting more. I kind of want him just to stop and smell the flowers, check them out. I did sort of block him with my body there. You know, he'd rather go around them still, but that's okay. Again, we're just out here, very low to no stress. We're just walking, meandering, and just really checking things out today. Kind of looking to see, what is he interested in? Does he want to investigate things further? Does he seem afraid of things? You know, like here, he's like, oh, I'd happily walk around the hula hoop. I've walked Rockstar through the hula hoop, and first we halted with our front feet in the middle, then we walked forward, and now we're halting with our back feet. Just a little practice. Let him walk forward now. Just practicing little simple things, you know, very easy. These are things that as he gets older, he might be asked to do at a horse show. You know, sometimes they have them stand with their front feet in a hula hoop and kind of walk and pivot their back feet in a circle, or vice versa. And so little things like this are just getting him ready for some future events, perhaps. I just dewormed Rocky for the first time. I used an apple flavored dewormer, gave him a few little treats afterwards. He was very good. He's so little. I mean, he only gets dosed for like a 200-pound horse because that's how little he is. But he was really, really good. He was great in the ring. Had a lot of fun with him today. He's a sweet little boy. So I'm gonna turn him out now. Might even put him out in the ring, and then he can meander around, and that way he'll keep Shenanigans company because he's next. You were so good today, mister. So good. So good. A little follow the leader action with Shenanigans. Let's see what he thinks. We're gonna just meander. He hears Sweetheart in the back, and that was Rockstar calling. So we'll see. She might distract him a little. So we'll see. But I do have Rockstar out here in the ring with us as a companion pony, just so he doesn't feel by himself. You know, he's still quite young, and we're just getting started with all of this. So I've got a buddy here, the old buddy system. A little snack. Come on, bud. Got a little log on the ground. See what he thinks of this. I know, she distracted you again. Now, come on, sweet boy. Good boy. Good boy. Checking out the hula hoop for the first time. He's more interested in the grass. A little scratch. Let's see what he thinks. What a good boy. He doesn't care. It makes kind of a funny noise when you kick it. He is certainly, you know, distracted by Sweetheart. I know, sweet boy. You're being such a good boy. What a good boy. What a good boy. Letting him sniff them. See what he thinks. He can go over them. He can go around them. What a good boy. Let's see, I'll give him a little more rope. What a good boy. Can I chew on the rope? What a good boy. Jan. What a good little boy. What a good little boy. Yes, it is. Sometimes you just have to stop and scratch an itch. And back to our follow the leader. What a good boy. What a good boy. And I'm pleased with his ability to regroup after Sweetheart was calling him earlier. You know, he got a little excited. We think he's just coming 4. So, you know, real pleased though. He's refocused and we're back to just investigating things. I'm real pleased with him. First day out doing all of these things. Letting him just sort of sniff and investigate. He might chew on it, there's no telling. But it's good to let them be inquisitive. Check these things out. What a good boy. Here's another cone. Yeah. Now's the time in life to figure these things out. What a good boy. Yeah. And let him have a little nibble. Ask him to walk on behind me. What a good boy, yeah. What a good boy, Shenanigans. What a good boy. And oh. So I've just turned Snuggles loose here in the ring, our little playground. Just curious to see what she thinks. She walked up to the flowers when she first came out. I didn't have my phone out fast enough. But I thought it might be fun for these real young guys just to kind of be turned out with some of these things out here in their paddock. Let them graze around them, walk over them, hang out with these objects. Like I say, they don't seem to really care, but I figure the more they see them, the more comfortable they'll get with all of these things. So it's my plan to continue to introduce them to all sorts of fun things. You know, we're gonna have a lot of fun times with these guys, I can tell. No, she's more interested in moving the hula hoop and grazing. Doesn't mind touching it. We think she's only 2. She looks more like she could be 3, but I did see some paperwork that led me to believe she was a spring of 23 baby. So we're still trying to get to the bottom of exactly how old she is. But needless to say, she's young, she's inquisitive, and not much seems to faze her. She's a pretty fun one. This is Snuggles here. So it's about 5 o'clock this evening. I've turned Shenanigans, Rockstar, Sweetheart, and Snuggles out into the ring here. There's a little bit more grass there than in the barnyard here, and so we're going to keep Clover in the barnyard on a little more limited grass until a few more hours, you know, around dark when I put the evening hay out. We'll turn him out. I will probably put them back into the back paddock this evening. That's where we've been putting them in the evenings. If I'm going to separate them or close them, excuse me, into one spot, that's usually where I put them in the evenings. So he's hanging out, he's quiet, he's by himself, but he can see that the other horses are not far. And that was my hope, was that he would be relaxed in the barnyard here by himself, knowing that his friends were just on the other side of the fence. So that's good to see. This is a really good sign. Sweetheart just walked over towards Snuggles. No ears pinned, no grumpiness. So yeah, that's a really nice thing to see, that they are beginning to get along. I'm not saying they're best friends, but the fact that they can coexist peacefully is very, very nice to see. I have just stepped into the barn to grab a bag of insulators. My husband and I were doing a little bit of fencing this evening, and there's Mr. Clover. Hi, sweet boy. He's a sweet one. He's doing really well here in the barnyard. He doesn't seem to mind being by himself, which is fantastic. What a good little boy he is. Hi, sweetie, what do you think? Yeah, bag of insulators? It's not food. So sorry. Here it is. It's almost 7 o'clock. We've got our 5 evening piles of hay in the back, and we're just getting ready to turn all of the minis out for the evening, Clover included. We have Clover here in the back. He is eating his dinner hay. Even after being in the barnyard all day, primarily off the grass, he still prefers to come out and put his head down here in a pile of hay, which is interesting. You know, most horses, you would think after being restricted on the grass, would be in search of that. But Clover is really happy to come out here and eat hay, which I think is good for him. I think it's best that he spend more time eating the hay than the grass. So I think it's going to all work out for him. He's been pretty content in the barnyard, which is serving as a semi-dry lot. So we're going to tomorrow turn him out in the dry lot without a buddy. He's had Snuggles as his companion the past 2 days. But we're going to try tomorrow. I'll be around the farm all day so I can keep an eye on him to make sure he doesn't get too anxious. But he seemed real content this evening when he was in there by himself for a couple of hours. We still have Sweetheart and Snuggles down there, rather close together. That's nice. You know, they've had a hard week. It took them a while to really be comfortable in each other's company. But Sweetheart actually walked up towards Snuggles, and, you know, without pinning her ears, without threatening. So it looks like they have perhaps worked everything out and will be able to coexist rather peacefully, which is really nice to see. That was our hope, and I just wanted to show you that. They're still grazing. They've been over there for many minutes. Almost nose to nose. So today was a really productive day. I got to ride this morning, which was lovely. I haven't done a lot of riding as of late, so it's always a lot of fun when I get the opportunity. So that was a great way to start the day. And then this afternoon I came out. I was able to take both Rockstar and Shenanigans into the ring and introduce them slowly to some of the new obstacles we have. They both did really well. You know, Shenanigans got a little excited at one point when Sweetheart was running the fence line and calling for him, but he regrouped and was really pleased with that. And then Clover, you know, this was his second day in the dry lot. He was in there with Snuggles for most of the day, and then this evening I decided to put him in there by himself, and I allowed Snuggles to come and graze in the ring with the other 3. And that was nice. You know, he was able to settle in there all by himself. He could still see the other horses. So I think tomorrow the plan is to put him in the barnyard, the dry lot area by himself, where again he can see the other horses, and hopefully he can kind of be in there by himself during the daytime now, and that way Snuggles, along with all of the others, can stay out on the little bit of grass we have. Nothing is too thick and rich right now. We are watching everyone to make sure that no one is getting tender-footed, but at this point in time, everyone is doing well. Even Clover is doing well. He is not at all sore, but because I know he did founder severely a few years ago, I am just trying to be extra special careful with him. So that's why we are beginning to pull him off the grass during the daytime hours. And I'm just putting him out in the evenings. You know, it's about 7 o'clock. The sun is getting low. And so hopefully that'll be enough for him. Hopefully we don't have to take it any further. I do have a grazing muzzle that my friend gave me to try, and tomorrow I'll see if I can't get that fitted on his halter, and we'll see if that works. You know, that's another option, is when I turn him out in the evenings, to turn him out with a grazing muzzle on. Some horses don't mind them, some horses really don't like them. So we'll have to just wait and see. And again, just figure out what's going to work best for Clover. So another great day. We're wrapping things up. And another thing that we were able to do, and I mentioned earlier, was a little bit of fencing. We're still working on enclosing this this back area of our farm. It sits just below the garden, and it's situated beside the back turnout area for the horses. So we were able to run an electric fence through the woods, and it will then tie into the garden fence, and it will also come and meet this red gate right here. This is situated right here at the back of our, really at the corner of our backyard. So once that's complete, we'll have yet another turnout for if and when we need more space, more grass. Right now we have more grass than we know what to do with these little guys, but there are other times of the year when we do find ourselves wishing we had a little more for them to munch on. So it'll be really handy to have yet one more turnout space. So really happy about that. Today was super productive. And, you know, what can I say? Just a lovely, lovely day. So thanks for joining, and thanks for watching, and hope you had a lovely day too.